Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and I got another video for you today. I'm actually doing a little bit more tear down. I'm going to work into this wiring harness that my phone died at the end of the last video, so I'll kind of show you really quick what we did. I've got it all off of the engine. I was going to leave the engine harness on, but then I thought, man, it'd be a really good idea to clean these headers up, get them recoated, and maybe check on the valve cover gaskets, the oil pan gasket, just kind of give the top end a once over real quick. But yeah, I got the whole vehicle harness all laid out right here. This is everything from the back up to the engine and to that point right there. So the idea is to take all this stuff and lay it over here as much as possible onto this frame, so that it's already laid out. I don't have to worry about tracing stuff out or trying to make stuff fit through. I can lay it in there better than I think it originally was put in. That being said, I'll show you another example of why we're pulling this cab. And well, the reason why we're using this cab, or using the other cab instead of this one, is that this is the passenger side, which was the better side, but it's completely rotted out. And like I said, in another video, I do believe I said that if I was to ever get T-boned in this thing, the cab would just ride off the frame, and I stand by those words. It would not have been great, I'll say for sure. So we're lining the red cab up, and everything's going to be looking good. So the big time goal for today is to get this truck out of here. So don't think it's going to happen today, tomorrow. That should be what happens though. And finish up the Bondo on that cab, and then I'll prime everything, get it all sealed up, or prime everything and see exactly high-low spots, what needs attention, what don't need attention, and then go from there. So I am trying to find a passenger side fender for a 06 GMC. Can't find one, or at least somebody who's willing to ship one or something like that. I'd rather have OE metal than Chinese metal. That's just it. And then one of these bumpers, these right here, would be also super great to find, because this one here has got rust in it, and then it's actually cracked. So I can turn the camera. It's actually cracked. So the actual tiny little slit is actually in the chrome plating, and it's going to get painted anyway, so I could just Bondo it, but I'd also like to find a whole one. So anyway, I'm going to shut up and get to work. It's been 3 minutes. I'll check you guys in later. Alright, so what I'm trying to actually achieve here is minimal but all necessary wiring out to maintain this heater control, four-wheel drive, and this radio. I want to keep the stock radio in and keep the Bose with the subwoofer underneath. I want to keep all that stuff so that I don't have to go out and buy it. Plus, I think it sounds good enough for a pickup truck, and I'm not trying to do any sound competitions with it, so it gets the job done. So yeah, just plugging away at this, probably making a few errors, but just trying to see what I need and what I don't need. So I'm just going to keep plugging away and put you guys back on a time lapse. Alright, so when you're thinking about pulling interior out, first thing you need to do is take the seats out before you disconnect the battery or any of that nonsense, because I've pulled out so much wiring out of this, I'm not sure what ground or whatever. So I don't want to just hook the battery back up. Well, I do know that the hookups are separate from the harness and all that stuff now, so I had to make something. So I made this guy right here off of a jump starter. It's not the smartest thing to do, but hey, it has already worked, so I'm not gonna have to fool around with it. But all I did was find which one of these wires all went to the different motors, and then ruled out the ones that didn't come into this, or the ones that all came into this connector that didn't go to a motor, and that would have been my power supply and ground supply. But here I got to turn it on, then I got to turn it to jump start, and now I got to move the seat forward. Not making a good connection. So it's moving a little. Get back on the ground, and this is hard too because I gotta like hold it in place. Oh, move a little bit. Don't move. I think my ground's touching power wire. There it is. All this so that I can get these seats out of here, so that I can get the center console up. Not bad. Then shut this off. Alright, so we're fishing out all of the wires for, I don't know if this wire is going to be good enough for what the Bose stereo is or not. I could be doing a whole lot of useless work, but I have it. It's right here. Just might as well grab it up. So we got the dash partly done. It's kind of wiggling around. We're just trying to collect all the wiring and then pull the wiring like it needs to be done. And hopefully we find some connections we can undo and that set us straight. So I think that this will all be worthwhile about 6 months from now when I'm cruising it down the road and everything's working like it's supposed to. Because if it doesn't work like it's supposed to, I'm gonna lose my mind. So I will stay positive, and I'm gonna put the phone down and just kind of knock some of this stuff out, and yeah, I'll catch up with you guys here shortly. Alright guys, we're here for day 2 of this dash removal. Now, I say day 2, but we only spent a few hours on it earlier in the video, and now I'm back at it. I'm gonna get a whole day into doing this one and the red cab over here. I just want to go through and get all of the wiring because I'm not exactly sure if that wire is the same as this wiring, and I can't find it online where anybody says it. I've tried to compare full-on wiring harnesses through AllData. Seems similar enough, but not exactly the same. So we're just gonna continue pulling this one out, and then when this one's done here, we're gonna go on and get on to this one and just keep pushing to get this. This is the most challenging bit, I think, of this entire swap. Not the Bondo, not the welding and the grinding and all this stuff. It is going to maintain this entirety of the entirety of this wiring harness, and also trying to maintain its integrity because it's old and we're moving these wires and bending them around and all this other stuff, and you may end up breaking one. So just trying to do all this relatively and be assured that we're going to end up with the final product that we want. So anyway, I'm going to jump right in on this and get this dash out of here, and I will update you guys then. Alright guys, so I am at the point where I need to be. Now, this is something I didn't think about. I'm going to have to do a little bit more digging into these harnesses, but I've got to get all that mess through that hole. And that hole is, well, it's pretty small. Knowing that I've got it, I can cut this off of here and get this out of the way, but man, there is a lot of wires. Regrets are setting in for sure, but I'm just gonna keep at it, and hopefully that inside all this I find things like this harness right here, how it's just plugged into here, runs up and over, and there's a plug for that there. So hopefully there's a lot of plugs in here that I can maybe get rid of, or find it connected into somewhere else that links into another plug that just happens to be taped up, and I can shove all that stuff through and mark it with a zip tie later. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, think about this, look over this stuff, and jump back in on a video and let you know what's up here soon. Alright guys, so I've done some thinking, and I've got excellent news for me. Now, this whole harness right here is like a big hard group of wires right here, and it all runs down into this message in the engine bay. And I'm thinking, they have this big cone thing shoved in through on the harness to protect it from environment, but it's going like this way. So this harness may have been fed that way in the last bit. So if that's the case, then there should be something out there that unscrews and unplugs all this mess right here into this, and I can just undo that and then send this bit that way. So I'm going to give that a shot first, which I think that's the more logical explanation here, and then shoot, maybe we'll have this licked just yet. Alright guys, there it all is. All it is right there. So, it's pretty bare in here now. I'm going to leave these mode doors in here. Evap cord and all that stuff was good. I'm going to have to just take a guess and think that that one's going to look good. But I can actually pull this apart and look at it. But anyway, so I'm going to get the pedal out of here, the accelerator pedal, because usually these kind of go bad but can sell well. But everything else, as far as this part goes, man, there's just not a lot left in here now. So the door panels will come off when I take the doors off. And yeah, this thing is pretty much gone through now. So I think the next thing we're going to work on is moving over to there. I'm going to pull the carpet back, get the wiring pulled all the way back out of it, and just kind of look at some things over there and see if it lines up. And if it lines up, then start tearing stuff out of there, and then, you know, move along. I'll probably update you once that dash is out, because this video is going to be long enough. So I will talk to you guys then. So I wanted to go ahead and throw in this time lapse of me getting the dash out and the wiring harness out of this truck for my own purpose. So if you don't want to watch this, then skip forward 5 minutes and it'll land you right back into the video. But I am vacuuming out all of the fire extinguishing agent that was that I put in there for when it caught fire, and just some random metal shavings from welding and sparks and stuff like that flying in there, and drilling and some other stuff. So this time I'm actually starting with the back, or the end of the harness in the back of the truck. So I'm pulling it from the defroster and out from underneath the carpet. In the other part of the video, in the other truck, I actually just cut the carpet because that carpet's trash. This one I'm going to keep, and I'm even going to put another layer of padding underneath this so that it just helps with road noise and more sound dampening. But get the speaker wires harness pulled up through, and the airbag module, and get that stuff all ran up so that that's done. I can reset the carpet, reset the camera, and then get all this dash done in one shot. Now I did focus a lot more on the steering wheel at first, because that's what got me hung up on the other dash, and I spent a little bit of time undoing some wires that I didn't need to undo, but I found that out later. But also what I did find was that there was a anti-theft in there that was tied into everything, and I thought that was part of the actual truck, but it wasn't. As I was pulling it, I could see that it was anti-theft, and then I just ended up cutting those wires and then pulling it out and getting it out of there, so I ain't got to mess with that anymore. And throughout this time lapse, yeah, I just kind of make a better, more thoughtful, try to pull it out in one piece. I even then found later that I could actually pull the entire dash and the harness out with it all still intact. And then I would have saved I'd even saved more time. That would have been more handy on the other dash, but on this one it would have been a whole lot better. So I'm just going to leave you to the music and the time lapse here, and I'll check back in with you guys shortly. Alright guys, so you got the whole dash out, harness out of both trucks. Second one went a whole lot smoother than the first, just mainly due to taking the first one out. So, and also I kind of went back and watched that video just a little bit, focus on the steering wheel first, then progress to the harness underneath the steering wheel. Once steering wheel's out, you can get to all that stuff a lot easier, and then start on the passenger, go back to the passenger side, take some stuff out of there. Just, yeah, that time lapse wasn't necessarily a how-to. Like I said, I can share the other video, but man, yeah, I'm really happy that it went as smooth as it did. So there are a few differences in this 07 truck versus the 06. Chevy GMC stuff, I know, I don't know, but this pedal is different, completely different. I can show you. It's still drive-by-wire, but that plug is horizontal. This one over here is vertical, and it's got a different kind of bracket on it. So you can see here, it's a lot different. The wires are the same color, but I don't think the plug is the same. And I like the way this one feels better, but if I'm using the ECU and all that stuff, I think I got to take this pedal with me. So the brake pedal is the same, and all this here is the same. So I do believe I am set on all of that. All those plugs over there are the same that's in the other truck. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video off here. After this, I'm gonna investigate taking the harness from this truck and putting it in this one. Just kind of eyeball around, see what I can do by myself, because I think I actually, to put it back in, I'm gonna need help holding the whole unit up. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. Please, again, comment anything that you know, would help me improve. That would you guys kind of see and critique. That would be great. The next video is going to be probably, maybe finishing up the Bondo on this red cab here, and maybe prepping for paint. I don't know, but I want to thank you guys again, and I'll see you in the next one.